All right. First question tonight. We got 7-30. It's a problem asking which company offers the lowest unit rate per minute. So looking at the four companies here, A, B, and C offers 100 minutes at $19.95. So again, we want to get it for a unit rate, which is for 1 minute. So taking the price of $19.95 and keeping that on top and dividing it by, or showing you that it's 100 minutes. What am I going to have to do to get it for 1 minute? Because that is a unit rate when we find it for one. So 100 divided by 100 would give you 1. So if we divided the 1995 by 100, what you do on the bottom, you do on the top, or vice versa, you would get 0.1995, which we can round that up to. You can't really get 19 cents in 95 ten thousandths, so we can round this one up to 20 cents. So we got 20 cents for A, B, and C. Now looking at Verizon, someone might get sued for copying off that, but anyways, we're moving on. We do the same thing, put the price over the minutes. Oh, this is 150. Try to get it for 1 minute. So again, on the bottom, we'd have to divide each by 150. And then we end up getting here 0.1663. So that's about 17 cents for rounding up. So far, this has the best rate. Singling, close to Mr. Yingling. We got $9.95 for 60 minutes. Not bad. Dividing both by 60 then to get our 1 minute. Divide by 60, and we actually get 0.165. So again, we can round that to about 17 cents. If I have any room left for D West, we got the 14.75 divided by 100. Divide each by 100 to get 1 minute on the bottom. And we would get 0.1475. So we can round that up to 15 cents. And looking, we got 2017, so actually D West would be your best rate. Moving on, 731. Here's the graph at the right. Shows strawberries are about $2 a pound. I think we're going up by ones here anyways. So $1, $2 would go right across here. My bad, I misread that question. So which store would have strawberries for $2 per pound? So we're going to have to find the two like I did earlier. It looks like we're going up by one, so wherever it runs through right there, I believe that would be, let's see here, 1, 2. Where do they meet? $2 per pound. I think that would be line D. My answer key says C, but I'm trying to match it up to myself. If that is 1 and 2 pounds, and then this is $2. I see. It's $2 per pound, not for 2 pounds. So it actually would be coming up would be line C. Sorry, kind of hard to read this graph on this paper. What is the rate cost of strawberries at store B? So if I get rid of some of this here. So again, usually we like to find rates for one. Easier to read for store B would be for 1 pound. Kind of looks like it might be at 4 or 5. If we could find an easier rate to read it at, I could see at $10 it's pretty even. And if I come down, so it looks like for $10, put our money on top, we have 2 pounds. So again, if I want to find it for 1, divide them both by 2, and I would get $5 for the 1 pound. Which store has the most expensive strawberries? How can we tell? Well, going back to your science class stuff you guys have been talking about, we are looking at the steepest is the easiest way to look, rising quicker and quicker. You can tell that it's probably about $10 a pound, moving over and looking down. So it definitely is store A. And I would say something about it's the steepest. Or again, that it's the most expensive, or you can say that it's $10 for 1 pound, a highest unit rate. All right, back to area and perimeter, your favorite thing to do. Again, perimeter formula is just, I always just do, you can do S plus S plus S, or I always just write add all sides. All right, so then we have 15 plus 12 plus 14. Set that up. And then for a triangle, we always have base times height divided by 2. Or you can do half the base times the height. 15 plus 12 is 27, plus 14 would give us 41. And just make sure we're labeling it centimeters. And then we have the base here, which is 14, times the height, which is, I believe, 11.3. And we divide that by 2. 14 times 11.3. I think it's close to 159. We get 158.2. And then if we divide that by 2, we get 79.1 centimeters squared. Coming down the next one, again, add all sides. Oop, lost my, oh, there it is. And then again, we have base times height divided by 2. So we need to add 20 plus 15 plus 25. And we need to take 25 times the height, which is 12. Divide that by 2. So adding up 20, 25, and 15, that would give me 35 plus 15, which gives me an even 60 inches. And then 25 times 12 is 300, because I know 25 times 4 is 100. Divide that by 2, it should then give me 150 inches squared. All right, the next one, we got to range them from greatest to least. So we're looking high to low. If you want to put them on the number line, you can go ahead. Don't have to for this one. So right away, I noticed that I have a whole number there. That's my highest. I have 3.5. Looking next, I have another whole number in 3. Now I'm down to a fraction and 2 decimals. So going back to my fractions, decimals, and percents, if I was going to put this as a percent, I know it's only 3% because it's 300ths. And I know this is 30%. And I hope that you know that 1/3 is equal to 0.3 repeated, which means 333 all day long. So that would be 33 1/3%. So looking at those three, we'd have to choose 1/3 next, and then go with my 30% and 3/10, and then my 300ths. So again, knowing that your fractions, decimals, and percents can always help you when you're solving these types of problems, and you can convert them to what makes it easier for you. Okay, last 3 questions. We haven't done this in a while. We're just adding and subtracting fractions, so we got to get that common denominator again. Already looking at 12 and 3. I'm going to keep my 12 so I don't have to do any extra work. So I have to get 2/3 to 12. I multiply the bottom and the top by 4. I get 12 on the bottom and I get 8 on top. And now I simply just have to subtract 11 minus 8, which is 3. Keep my 12. I notice that they have something in common, so if I divide them both by 3, I get 1/4 as my final answer. Next, I got 8 and 12. They do meet at 24, so that will be my common denominator. 8 times 3 is 24, and 12 times 2, so I got to multiply those by the top as well. 3 times 3 is 9. 7 times 2 is 14. We add those up. 14 plus 9 gives us 23. Keep the bottom. We cannot reduce. Too close. So we're done there. Pretty easy. And now the last, you can multiply the bottoms to get 80. But I do know they meet at 40. So I'll, again, take the simple route and put them both over 40 for my common denominator. I'm going to multiply 8 times 5 and 10 times 4. So what I do the bottom again, I do the top. 9 times 4 is 36. 5 times 5 is 25. We're adding, so we're going to get a 61 over 40. Ask myself how many 40s go into 61. That would be 1, because 2 would be 80. I have to subtract then the difference, so I take that 61 minus 40, which gives me 21. Keep the bottom. All right, so if you got any more questions tonight about the homework, just let us know in class and we'll take care of it. Thanks for watching if you need a little help.